Yerp, this is Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the very first episode on the man who fell to Earth. Now, I never saw the actual movie or whatever it was based off because I know this is like a remake. This is starring. I'm going to butcher his name. I'm not gonna say his full name. Chuyatel. I don't know. Man's got a tongue twister for a name, but you've definitely seen him in Doctor Strange, 12 Years a Slave. He's the main character here, and I like how they start this episode off where he's kind of like Steve Jobs in this way, where he's just got a crowd full of people, and he's getting ready to unveil his next invention or something like that. And it's kind of like this narration of just how he came to Earth and everything leading up until this point. And that's where it kind of hooked me. You know, there's things that were kind of left me kind of scratching my head. I want more answers. It definitely left us wanting more, but I like that we start from the very beginning, like where he touches down to Earth, and the first kind of contact he has with people is when he's literally swallowing a whole hose because, he has to adapt to his environment. And it seems like there are similarities between his planet and Earth. I think on his planet, it just gets a lot hotter than Earth. I think they both kind of run off water, in my opinion, because they do say there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of similarities to things on his planet to things here on Earth. We don't get a lot. We just get a little bit. So, of course, the cops arrest him and take him down to the station, and this is where things really get interesting. I like that he's able to observe things, and similar to if you've seen Man of Steel, and you know how Clark gets to Earth and just all his senses are heightened. It's pretty much like that for him, where he can hear everybody's thoughts, he can hear phone conversations and stuff like that, and gather information very quickly. And one of the officers that are questioning him asks, "Do you got anybody that we could contact?" And this is where we get introduced to our other main character, Justin Hall. She is working crazy hours at this one plant, or cleaning up waste, trying to provide for her father and take care of her kid as well. She has to buy these drugs off of a drug dealer because they're way too expensive, for her to afford under insurance and everything. And she's a really interesting character. So she gets called down to, to the station after pretty much losing her job because her boss, whatever, wanted her to do something strange for a piece of change, and she wasn't having that. And that guy got a swift knee to the balls, as he deserves. I don't like dudes that are like that. You shouldn't have to, if you're in a position of a manager or assistant manager, whatever, and you're overseeing somebody, you shouldn't take advantage of that. I know that really happens in real life to people, and it's kind of a shame that that still goes on. But anyways, when she gets down to the station, she obviously does not recognize this guy from anywhere, and they kind of go their separate ways, and she thinks that this guy is pretty much just crazy. Everybody's kind of looking at him like crazy. If you saw somebody that looked just like you and were saying a bunch of things and knew things that only you knew about, you probably think that they're crazy or there's something up with this character. And I like this little scene of this character. Let's just call him K for right now, because we didn't get a definitive name of him just yet in this episode or in the series so far. He swallows a bunch of like a bunch of rings and goes to this pawn shop so he can get him some money. He ends up making himself like this, like I guess it's like a radar or something like that, but he doesn't really know where he's at or just the environment, so people are definitely going to take advantage of him if they see him with some money, which does happen because some people that are just driving by, you know what I'm saying, they see this guy, him just like not really paying attention to what's going on, and a bunch of money's flying everywhere, so they end up beating him up, trying to take his money. Justin sees this as she's driving by and kind of thinks about, should I get involved, should I not? But ends up stepping in and saving Kay for the meantime. And they end up getting stuck with each other, and they go onto this kind of road trip, and he pretty much kind of tells her, like, you know, you're a part of this too. And he starts doing the thing where he knows things about people without those people telling him those things. I know it's very confusing. It was very confusing at times, like trying to keep up with it as far as just paying attention to clues and just seeing exactly if I can piece things together. But like, you're not going to get a bunch of answers in this first episode. It's just mainly just a bunch of setup, because I want to see where we get from in this episode to where we get to towards the beginning of the episode, where we see him in a suit talking to a huge crowd of people and them cheering him on. How long has that been? Has it been like years? Has it been months? We still don't know yet. So then we get to this part where they're at this bar kind of just exchanging information, and Kay starts to talk about, the alien guy starts to talk about his teacher, and she searches this guy up, and he had this theory long time ago and stuff. And this is what makes me think that I feel like it's a blend of like, there has to be some type of element of time travel or something like that, because the way he's talking to her is just like, you're a big part of this. He's also, this is a part of my mission. And she's just tagging along because she sees him with money and she's desperate this time, but she doesn't want to go too far away from her family. But there's a certain location that he needs to be there to get more information, and things start to go kind of left with these two, because she still doesn't know who this guy is and why he knows so much information about her, and she's just kind of iffy at this point. She doesn't know how to really grasp what this guy is telling her, and just not understanding that he is an alien. But of course, she's not going to believe that. But it even got to a point where she had to pull a gun out on him, like, stay away from me. And she's obviously been through a lot, so they end up going in separate ways. He's walking towards like this tornado looking thing, but it ends up being like this kind of portal. I don't know if she got sucked up into it as well, but it just transported him into kind of this different plane, or just this, we're in this forest like area, and this guy that I guess was the teacher that he was talking about comes to say, like, this is only the beginning. They're going to treat you like a god. And it's interesting to me, man. There's a lot of interesting pieces with this first episode. Overall, I think this was a pretty solid episode. Like I said, only thing I didn't really like about this episode is just they had times where a character would just be moving and just be all over the place, and it almost kind of gave me a headache and like a little bit of motion sickness. But other than that, I think it's an interesting show so far. And it's not every day that you get like two black leads in a sci-fi series. You don't see that every day. So I'm curious to see where this goes. What's the box all about? Is it something dangerous? Is it something that's actually going to benefit humankind? Who knows? If you got a chance to check out this first episode, let me know how you felt about it. Like, is it something that you're willing to watch week to week, or you're not feeling the first episode. Let me know if I've missed anything, any key details. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.